So how do we make sense of this thing? We've got 12 notes in music, but how do we know where they're oriented on the instrument? Well, firstly, I want you to know that it's actually possible to memorize each of the frets independently. Like if I pick this guy, I know it's G. This is E flat. This is A flat. This is E flat. Up to C, down to A flat, G sharp. This is B. This is C over here. And so on. It's totally possible to do. And I want to show you a few methods that I used to help me memorize the fretboard when I was first learning. Now, most importantly, what you need to know are the names of the strings. You need to know them like the back of your hand. So E, A, D, G, B, E. What that also means then is that the 12th fret is the same. So E, A, D, G, B, E. The guitar kind of restarts here. And all of the notes that are same on open and 12, the same logic is true for 13 and 1 and 14 and 2. And so on. These are all the same notes. So as you can see on my guitar, I have dots on them. So on the odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9, and then 12. Now, on most guitars are this way. Yours may not be, but that's okay. The first dot after 0 is the same note as the first dot after 12. See that? These are the same note. These are the same note. That's literally what they're for. So if I'm way up here, I can see what notes I'm playing relative to where the dots are, because it's a mirror image of the instrument. So we're going to create some pillars, as I like to call them, and learn some important notes that are within the first octave. And we're going to start by memorizing the 5th fret on the E strings. So it's this note A. Easy. 5 is A. We're also going to memorize 8 is C. So we've got A and C. We know we've got E, A, C. This is E. This is A. This is C. The next thing we can notice is that these are both E strings, meaning that if this is A, this is also A. If this is C, this is also C. These are E's, these are A's, these are C's. So let's move on to the A string now. So we're going to memorize the 5th fret here as well. This note is D. And then we're going to memorize 8, which is F. Okay, so we've got A, C, D, and F. We've also got A and C. So how is this useful? Like if I asked you a question of what is the 4th fret on the E string? Well, we could count up E, F, F sharp, G flat, G, G sharp, A flat. But now, since we're memorizing that this is A, all we need to do is go -1. So G sharp, A flat. We know this is A, -1. What if I asked what the 2nd fret was, for example? Well, the closest reference point is the open string. So I just count up F, F sharp, G flat. There's the answer. What about the 6th fret? Well, what's our closest reference point? That'll be the 5th fret. +1, we're on A, this is A sharp, B flat. There's the answer. What if I go to 11? Well, what's the closest reference point? We know this note is E, so -1, D sharp, E flat. What if I go to 9? Well, our closest reference point there will be C on the 8th fret, so I know this is C sharp, D flat. All of the same logic for the E string is true on this E string as well. So let's jump over to the A string and go through the same process. So we've got D and F on 5 and 8. So what fret is on the 3rd string? Well, our closest reference point is D. So we go -2. C sharp, C. What about the 9th fret? Well, we'll jump to 8. We know this is F, +1, F sharp. What about 1st fret? Well, we've got A sharp, B flat, and so on. All of the same logic is true for the upper half of the guitar as well, if you have a guitar that goes this high. So just one last recap. E, A, C, A string, D, F. We're just memorizing essentially 4 placements. And we can use these to calculate quite quickly any note on the fretboard. So we've got half of the strings down now. Let's take a look at the next 3 in the next section.